Okay, so I wanted to have my final goodbye and stay away from YouTube. I've been trying to do this, but I read comments and some of you guys are not understanding some things. So I need to make a couple things clear. With my diagnosis for dissociative identity disorder, okay, let me explain this first. I was always diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. About 9 months ago, maybe about a year ago, when I switched over to this clinic, I saw a psychiatrist, or like top-notch psychiatrist, and I explained to her that like it all started because when I explained to her that I did not remember ever meeting her before, and when I did, I met her, we had like a long sit down, it was really weird. And then we got into how, like, when I first got on probation, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had left my probation officer this nasty-ass voicemail, and I didn't remember doing it. So at this point, this is when they started to wonder if I had dissociative identity disorder. After time, it was proven to be, yeah, because it's not just, like, I would black out and do things I would never normally do, turn into somebody else completely, spend money on shit I don't want. I beat up that cab driver in a disassociated state, don't remember it's like fragmented pieces. Like when you have DID, it's all based off trauma. I have been blacking out and losing time for a long time now, but I never had it diagnosed into like what it was until recently, because I always just thought it was because I used drugs like before and that it fucked my brain up. I didn't realize that there was something more serious going on. I did not know that. Hi, I'm explaining some stuff real quick before I go. I did not know that. It's not an excuse for behavior, whatever. If that were the case, like if this was not a real diagnosis, I would be in a lot more shit. Okay, and it's not that me and my supervisor talked and she's the one who diagnosed me. I am just telling you a story of a conversation that me and her had about it. Okay, it doesn't mean that that's the first time it happened. It's just I've never really talked to you guys about it. I haven't really talked to you guys about it because this is a part of my life that this is the worst. If, like, people were saying, some of the comments I'm getting were like, I don't understand, like, when did this happen? Like, this has always been there. This has been there for a while. It's just I was never properly diagnosed. I just got diagnosed within the it's been about 10 months, maybe 9-10 months, almost a year. But it's not. And this is something that my primary before should have picked up on. When the fact that I go by different names when I do different things and then I don't remember what I did. Like when I used to escort, I'd go by a different name and then not remember what I did. Like it's like the whole thing, like I always thought that, you know, that's just normal. I blocked it out because of trauma. It's not trauma. It's a mental health disorder. I'm just gonna stay offline for a little while. I'm trying to explain because just because I never talked about it with you guys before, it doesn't mean that it's not there. Like I don't know, do I have to get my paperwork from the clinic before I leave and show you guys for you guys to understand? Why do I have to prove a mental health illness to you guys? Why can't, like, you know what I mean? It's not what everybody, first of all, dissociative identity disorder is not what everybody thinks it is. It's the same mental health illness that they talked about in the movie Split, but it is nothing like that as far as I know. Like I don't know, because when I disassociate, I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't know, but I do know I've never hurt anyone past beating up that cab driver. Never hurt anyone. Yeah, I thought I was being clear with it too. I didn't know that people were still not getting it. But the thing is like, first of all, I wouldn't, this is like the worst thing I've had to go through in so long, because imagine you're sitting there watching a YouTube video, and the next thing you know, you're sitting in your car, okay? Like, so don't, like, when people say to me things like, oh, you're using that as an excuse, it's not an excuse, it's fucking terrifying. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing. This is worse for me, and it's not, and I'm talking about it more now because it's gotten worse over time. And I know that and that's where the talking with my supervisor comes in. I would have never known how bad it's gotten until I had that conversation with the supervisor when she asked me, how many days do you remember coming into the clinic last week? And I had to sit back and think, and I only remembered one day. That's what I was trying to explain to you guys. That not that I have this, because I've had this for a while. The problem is I was trying to explain that this is how I found out it's getting worse. And that's why that's what I'm going to start doing, Nicole. Actually, I'm going to start with a notebook, date, time, every hour. I'm going to write down what I'm doing. And I need to bring it to my doctor on the 29th because, like, we're also switching up some medications. I thought my medications were good for me, and they're not. I'm going to start journaling, not because I'm nervous of what if people, before you go and, like, say, oh, you're like, what if I fucking ended up hurting somebody and not knowing it? Like, you guys, the people who are, like, sitting there and talking shit, like, you have no fucking clue. No fucking clue what it's like to live with this. Yeah, and I probably oh, fuck, dude, I just lost it. See, this is what I mean, like, the high stress. Okay, I probably disassociate when I go into the clinic, because now, more than ever, because of what had happened a couple weeks ago. It was trauma. It was traumatic. I was crying. So now when I go in, it's like, when you have dissociative identity disorder, it was explained to me, like, first of all, like, I'm the host, and they're almost like parasites. It's the only way you get diagnosed with dissociative is if you have 2 or more, do they think I need inpatient? I tried to go inpatient, and they don't give out the methadone in there. I'm trying to relax. I know I definitely need to relax more. That's for sure. Hold on. Sorry, someone just messaged me. But, Brian, like, what were you saying? You said something in the comments, but I didn't understand what you were saying. What were you saying in the comments before? Something about that I texted you. See, I don't know. I don't even remember texting you. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. And it's not that, it's not that I'm using drugs or high or anything like that. Like, I have a fucking mental health illness, and it's like, I don't know why they won't. I'd have to go to another hospital. Right now, I'm starting a new clinic on the 22nd. I'm going to start fresh there, but I just need to take some time to relax, calm down, keep track of what I'm doing in a notebook, just like Nicole said. That's what I want to do. And I made a goodbye video, and then I made another one. I made one about my hair in between, and that's kind of like what I'm saying. Like, I don't... Stop, cat. It's, No, this is something that's trauma related. This doesn't come from methadone. This comes from like, trauma. Trauma is what it comes from. See, methadone doesn't make me sleep. That's fine. But, back when I was in my old apartment, too, like, this is just to show how long it's been going on. And I wouldn't, like, I would hear my mom talking to me and the dogs barking, and I didn't know if it was, like, auditory, like hallucinations or if it was like being like super clairvoyant or something. Like, and I didn't know what was going on, like, or if I was just fucked up in the head. But now I'm glad that I saw an actual really good therapist to explain this to me. Otherwise, I'd be living my life not knowing. But basically what I wanted to tell you guys is just because I made one video explaining that I talked to my counselor about my DID does not mean that she's the one who diagnosed me. This has been going on for a while. I was just explaining that this was a conversation that I had with her about it that showed me that it's getting worse. And that's it. Yeah, Brian, that's a lot of it. I don't remember a lot of things, Brian. Like, and you talk to me a lot. You talk to me a lot, so you're probably one of the main people who understands. Like, I forget. It's not even forgetting, it's blacking out. Like, it's a blackout. I don't know if the methadone makes it worse. And I tried to get off the methadone before. It's hard because I have to complete an Oasis program for probation. And right now, and I'm in the middle of switching clinics. And right now, if I tried to come off, it would be in non-compliance. And it's just, so there's no way. It's hard. It's really hard. Everything is really hard right now. Hold on. Let me put this on live. Because I'm trying to read what Brian said. Yeah, you finished talking to me, told me you were going to sleep, then 10 minutes later you texted me and told me you just woke up. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't remember that at all, Brian. And that's my, like, that's what I do, is like, I'll go to sleep, wake up a couple minutes later and do something and not know what I'm doing. Like, you imagine, like, and that's not, and that right there, like, you know, it sucks. It fucking really sucks. So I don't want to see no more bullshit comments saying, you know, anything, until you have to live with something like this, you have no idea. You have no idea. I almost burnt my fucking house down not that long ago. I'll show you right here. Because for no reason, don't know why, I turned a burner on that I would never use. You can see right here, all the melted stuff stuck to it. All the shit down in there that's melted and stuck on there. Because for some reason, in a disassociated state, I put a loaf of bread on there and turned it on. Like I don't, that's, so this is what I'm saying. Imagine having to live with that, you know? I was thinking about changing my, thank you for that, Nicole. Yeah, I have been staying clean, and I'm really happy about that. And I have thought about changing my YouTube name solely for the fact that I don't want people knowing my actual name anymore. Any new people, I don't want them knowing my name anymore. I don't want anybody to know my name anymore. That's not how you make toast. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. I know that's not how you make toast. And I don't know why I did it. And I wish I had the loaf of bread to show you. But it's like, I can't. It's like I'm wondering in my disassociated state, why? Now I need to think about, every disassociated state is a different version of me, with their own personality and their own ideas, and they're not dumb. Like, so I'm wondering if they did this on purpose, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I don't know any, I don't know. I don't know. I know, YouTube is ridiculous. And I know that, like, it's like especially people who are not doctors, and especially people who just like jump in the middle of like a video. Like, for example, like I'll tell you guys, like right when I got home from the clinic today, and I opened my fridge. I guess I ordered food last night. I didn't eat it, but I ordered it. Why? And I pray to God that I did not walk out and get it in the same thing that I was wearing last night, because I was wearing no pants and no underwear. But I probably did if I was in because there's one altar that I have that's a fucking whore. Like, and I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, oh, it's hard. It's hard. And, you know, I was told that the best thing I can do is imagine in my mind me and the altars sitting at the table, keep them in the table, or try and imagine them in a house. It's like them living in a house, and only one is allowed out at a time. If I'm out, the others have to stay in. If I go back in my room, another one can come out. And it's really fucking scary. It's really fucking scary, and it sucks. And what if I pass that down to my kid? I don't know if it's genetic, or I don't know how, if it's genetic. I think it's just like severe trauma based. It doesn't work like that. I wish I could just say I'm in control, but it doesn't work like that, because it happens so quick. Like, so quick. Like, I'm trying to think of like one time that I want to try and remember like the last thing I remember before forgetting something, but it's really hard. But yeah, it's not something I can control. It's like that, especially since I've had it for so long, but I never knew what it was, and I never had a appropriate diagnosis. And now I just need to figure out how to live with it and how to handle it. And the people at the clinic that now are very understanding. They're really great. They work with me. I know, and Megan, the girl I was talking, I love her because, you know, when I'm talking to her, if she thinks I'm starting to disassociate, she'll be like, do you remember the conversation we just had? What did I tell you 10 minutes ago? And if I can answer her, I'm okay. If I can't, I'm disassociated. And it's really, and it's hard, but it's nice for them to understand. And that's why I talk about her, because she actually gets it and she helps me. See, artisan words, I wish that was possible. Do you have anyone who can stay with you for a while to help keep this in check? Not really. I was thinking about tying my wrist to my bed when I go to sleep at night, because maybe that explains why I'm always so tired, because maybe I'm not sleeping. And that's like, that'd be cool if I had a bracelet too that would switch when I switch. Then people would know. There's gotta be something. Like, there's gotta be a way where I can know, like feel inside me like I'm about to disassociate. I need to do something. And like, when I know people who have lived with this for a long time, maybe they can master that, but I can't yet. Yeah, my mom knows I have this. She does. She's been known. She knows. Like, make a meeting at the table. Oh my God, like the table in my head. I could try and do that, but I don't know if it's so weird to talk to you guys about this, because it's like super embarrassing too. I don't know if any of my fragmented alters would agree with that. Because they're there medically to protect me. Thank you. Thank you, Brett. You know what, Artisan Words? If you want to help me do some research... Oh, wait a minute. Why do I keep calling you that? Like, I know your name. I know your name because we talked. We talked on Instagram. Correct? Tell me I'm right. If you find any information, then let me know. Let me know if any of you guys have any ideas, then send me an email, because I think I do need to stay off YouTube for a while, because now I'm starting to disassociate on here, like the video I made with the tongue. That's why it was such a short video. And like I never in a million years never would stick that shit in my mouth. I'm mostly vegetarian. Like, I would never do that. Yeah, maybe it does just take time. I'm just afraid that one day I'm gonna disappear completely. That's like my biggest fear, is that like one day I'm gonna be gone and replaced, and that's fucking terrifying. And I'm not gonna start crying, because if I start crying, then I'll be in an emotional state, and then I'm worried about disassociating all the time. Yeah, so it's basically what I have is multiple personality disorder. They just, it's called dissociative identity disorder now, because multiple personality disorder sounds too scary to people, I think. And it's not. I mean, like, it shouldn't be something people are afraid of. I mean, I'm afraid, but... A lot of people on here, kind of. Yeah, we talked on Instagram, yes. So you can message me on Instagram if you find anything. Exactly, Brian. Like, when I start to get afraid or stressed, that's why they're called the protectors. Gina goes away and someone else comes forward. Now, like, I guess... medically, like, one of the best things you can do to help keep it under control is to actually give them names. And I don't want to do that, because I don't want to make it more real. Like, this side of my head is going numb. I feel like if I do that, and even, I guess it's recommended to do that, but I feel like, no, it's not early here. It's 9:55. I just got back on the side. I feel like if I do that, then I'm making it too real. And I know it's recommended, but I don't want to make it more real than it is. Like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I don't want to make it... I don't want to do that, because I want to just be me. I'm gonna go to bed, but it was nice to talk to you guys about this and to clarify for the people who didn't understand. Yeah, you'd think that they would, right? Alright, well, my email is down below. If anyone has any ideas or anyone wants to talk to me, then you can. I just don't know if it's a good idea to do that. I don't want to give any of my fragmented alters, as they call it. I don't want this to be real. I don't want to. I want to think they're wrong. I want to think that this isn't real. I want to think that this is not what it is, and that I'm just tired. I don't know. You're gonna have to watch it. I'm talking about my mental health disorder that I never really talked about before. And like I made a slight comment about it twice, and people are like, "Oh, since when?" Well, if the methadone was a part of it, I mean, this would have happened a long time ago. This is all based off trauma. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to deal with it alone. I hate dealing with it alone. I mean, I have my cat. Alright, I'm gonna go. But if I come back, if I do come back, maybe if I come back, there's a way to tell if it's me or not. Maybe you can ask me, like, a question or something. And if I don't, that I would know. And if I don't know it, then it's not me, and you can tell me to get off. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Thank you, Brett. You know what? You're right, Brett. I do talk on Snapchat, Ryan. Go to my, it's Gina, GINAB95. I'll ask you. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, because it took me a long time to remember that your name is Ashley. So that's a good idea, because I don't think that it would remember. But if you're not here, that'd be hard. I know, I love to use YouTube. Thank you, Brett. You are so kind. Thank you. Alright, if anyone wants to email me, my email is gonna be down below. To get a hold of me. Yeah, it's all based off of trauma, which sucks. Thank you, guys. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys in, I don't know, soon. Alright. Alright, I'll talk to you. Oh, wait, Ryan, I forgot to tell you. It's Gina B, GINAB 95. Gina B 95. Alright, bye, guys. I will. Brian, you can always message me, and if... Yeah.